Hello, everyone. I'm Tassinix, and welcome to another episode of Plotting and Scheming. It's myself, Dagger, and TJ, and we'll be covering what we've learned and what we'll take away from Season 41, 5 vs. 5 Grand Arena, Week 2. Dagger and TJ, thank you both so much for being here. TJ, how's it going?
It's not bad, man. Coming away with the 2-1, so I'm gonna call myself a happy camper. That anything doing that way is always a good day.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Dagger, how's it going?
It's hot and sweaty.
Yes. It is miserable sitting here in this top hat, but we have a job to do for the people, so that's what's up. All right, let's jump
we
right.
suffer for you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you kindly. All right, let's jump right into it. What worked? I'll kick off first. For me this week, Inquisitors versus Jabba was extremely successful. I think I used it twice, 2 out of 3 rounds, and yeah, it was a curb stomp. I want to say like 64, 65, something like that. I have heard some people dropping with it though. What do you guys know about the limitations of that counter?
Retribution seems to throw a wrinkle in.
Retribution?
And I'll just kind of leave it at that.
All right.
I don't know if TJ wants to expand.
This has been a good week of a lot of stuff, man. The what works and the what's not working. For that one, 100% of retribution, and it's also just I think that there's like one character contingency, and then beyond that point, it feels pretty safe, right?
Okay.
So when it doesn't work,
Yeah.
it really doesn't work.
Yeah.
But when it does work, man, is it fun.
Fair enough. Other things that worked out well for me this week, Mother Taliesin versus Dash Hondo. The one that like stomped it. So I did like a 65 banner kill on that. It didn't have Vandor. I don't know how much that mattered. If Vandor was there with the Kron, it might have just taken longer to get to the same 65. But wow, that was very, very smooth. Trench versus Finn Zori. That was something people were doing in week 1, but I really didn't do it. I am pleased to say it is as good as advertised, 65 banners. And then, of course, what to do about those hard Riva teams. You know, I tried Trio Talon without Savage last week. That did not pan out, and I wasn't brave enough to try it. Trio Savage without Talon, so I took all 5, and that was a 65 against a Riva. Dagger, how about you? What worked for you this week?
Got CLS. I was telling you guys in the pre-show. Got CLS to work versus Jabba. So
That's extraordinary. What do you think? Where are the wrinkles?
Can you kill Boosh?
So it's just you open up on her, and then you're doing call to action, so you can get around Chrysanthemum. You're just all eyes on her.
Yeah, if you can kill her with the stance into middle on her, you're going to be fine. If you can't kill her with that,
Super bad
I don't know if
times.
you heard my sigh there, but yeah, that encapsulates.
Doom is upon you. That's fair.
Afra versus Jabba continues to be pretty consistent. Afra versus Lord Vader is reasonable.
I've done both this week, yeah.
But it's relatively sketchy versus Double Tank. Afra is.
Oh, is that so?
It just takes you a little while to chew through both tanks to get to Lord Vader, and he sometimes is like halfway through his ult by the time you get there, and he can bonk somebody off and you can't bring him back.
Makes sense.
So, good versus Jabba, I would say learning the limit testing with Afra versus Lord Vader, I would say, is something I learned this week. Outside of that, yeah, Trench continues to be better than most people believed he would be.
It's true.
Night Sisters continue to be much better than people give. Oh, I shouldn't say much better than people give them credit for. I don't think we've limit tested them enough to give them enough credit. But
It's
they've
true.
also been. Did they beat Zori? They beat the full Zori only plus Datacron.
Fabulous.
I've
lost one. I've won one and lost one with that. It was too much. Like it just like they chain blew up too many characters before I could save myself. Anyway.
Did you take Dr. Zombie when you did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
I
not
remember
so.
at one point you didn't take Daka at something.
That was
Or maybe it wasn't
that
you
I
didn't
didn't
take
take
Zombie.
zombie once against a Malgus to try and run it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a long while ago
Uh,
though. But yeah, bad
yeah.
memories, bad memories. All right, well let's not forget TJ. TJ, what worked for you this
Yeah.
week?
Sorry.
Oh, you guys are fine, man. So I'm gonna blow the minds of everybody, depending on what it is. I was and this is not mine. I don't get to claim this. This
Uh-huh,
was
uh-huh.
this was a Brock. I got to Riva Array. Very fun. So much
Oh,
fun. So it's in the history, so it's not like I'm like surprising
right,
anybody. I'm
right,
not
yeah,
giving
yeah,
any
yeah.
tidbits on it. But when I get to take my Riva and I destroy your array, you're welcome. Um, Geos on Seer feels very good to a limit. And I won't give the limit away. You guys can figure it out. But Geos still working. Off meta, I'm telling you, I said it last week and I'm doubling down on this. Old school comps are giving people fits. So putting up old things that used to work and then trying to remember how to play it again. That actually cost me my week one. So off metas are just amazing right now. Afra is doing great on Jabba, as you talked about. I've watched Night Sisters. Without zombie, Fatal did it today, and he's killing Seer with that. I'm watching it take out many things. So the punch up is amazing. Dagger's called out. Trench is punching way up above his belt and doing many things. So it's like the best takeaway to me though, the Riva on Ray. That was amazing.
Yeah, can you speak on that some more? What as always, what do you need? What are the limitations?
So the limitations, I believe, are going to be Cal, or no, it's Zori. Zori is the factor that does not allow the Riva, as I understand it,
Okay,
in
so if
practice.
Zori's on the team, that one's certainly not going to work for you.
You're not getting through that because of what she's doing and how it's coming. It's stopping what's happening. Other than that, feels pretty good.
All right, I
Well
feel it.
modded, doing other pieces together, and then how you play the fight. Again, I will give tidbits, but I can't give all the details.
That's right. And for those of you who are, joining us at this point for the first time watching the series, we do try and give insights from honest to God what we've learned here from the week. We can't spill all the tea though. You know how it is. We got to keep some type of competitive edge. So we always give up something, but we do not give up everything. But yeah. All right. Anything else of note that really worked for you, man?
There's really a lot, man.
Just
I feel
anything
like
else of note, just of note. Anything else that really stuck out? Otherwise, we're good. We can move to the next
No,
segment.
no, I think we're okay, dude. But
Okay.
Offman is amazing.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's great. It's great. All right, guys. What didn't work? JML versus Lord Vader for me. I did that today. I saw 7 people pulled it off last week. I want to say it was for 60-something banners, too, like 62, 63. Definitely intriguing. So it was JML, JKL, JKR, Grandmaster Hoda, a classic comp. And honestly, we did very well. We got it down to only Lord Vader at a red sliver of health. Then he used ultimate and middle and healed up to like 80%. And yeah, then Jedi started killing over immediately thereafter. But right up until that point, it felt like we really had it. So I think maybe if my Krana had some more prot and I was able to hit slightly harder at some points, or if I was just a little quicker about it, maybe a few more seconds of time would have bent my way. It wouldn't have really changed the number of turns he got, but I don't know. It was almost. That's why I make the note of it. You can fail with anything versus Lord Vader, but that was really close, and that was of course with the prot upcron. So I thought it was really interesting. Radis versus Tarful, that absolutely did not work. We just got absolutely blown out. Do not recommend. I must have seen it on GG somewhere, but I do remember the pain of just absolutely getting blown out. And then last but not least, what really had me grinding my teeth is on 2 occasions this week, 2 different rounds, I screwed myself by bringing TM removal that was not needed, and it cost me. So Bad Batch versus a Dash Scoundrels team with Nest, man, you're pushing back turn meter forever on Nest. Nest literally never got to take a single turn in the entire battle. She would always get up just to the cusp, 95%, and then, somebody would apply expose and then hit her, and then minus 50% TM. And that's the way it went. So I timed out on that nest, had to clean it up. It was super embarrassing. And then here, just today, for round 3 of week 2, I did Imperial Troopers versus a trench team. It didn't have Django on it, so I was absolutely fast enough to be out ahead. No problems with any of that. Only problem being is, like a dodo, I completely blanked out and brought Stark. Stark has the Zeta, and Stark made it so that by the end of the fight, Django had taken exactly 1 turn. And was, again, right there on the edge of taking that second turn to drop the DI. But for 5 minutes, Stark just kept sapping him. Just kept sapping him over and over. So just don't dodo yourself on classic issues like that. That's my what didn't work. TJ, we came to you second. Let's go back to you first here. What didn't work for you this week?
I hate sortie with passion.
Like, you
burning
attacking
fire
sortie or you using sortie?
Just losing to
body-
sortie.
Losing to
My
sortie.
body's ready for that to leave. My body's just ready for that
So
crown to
so
leave.
here's
that
here's
crown, yeah.
here's the thing. 2 different comps. One, it's just the old GG nuke, and when I talked about just you doing the things and you just forgetting it, I was so tunnel visioned, and as Dagger will call it a simple one, made just a stupid mistake because I wasn't paying attention enough. I beat myself in my first round against my good buddy Yama because I wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I just went in thinking what was normal, and then all of a sudden my team got deleted. I'm like, I can't believe I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
And then go into the very next round, or the round today, different sortie comp, and I didn't take into account the turn meter. So because I got looped, it cost me. I won the fight, don't get me wrong. I ended up winning the war, but it wouldn't have been so bad if I had not just paid attention to those small little details that they're setting me up for me to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
So just not paying attention, man, is just those little bits and putting it together. The other thing that didn't work, Tuskens on Zori when you see Rose, especially Rose with Omicron, just don't do it. It's gonna hurt your feelings, and you're gonna go, why isn't this working? Another one that burned my bridge is Tuskens. When you have a combo of IG and you have L3, you get to a point where you can't get around enough of the stuff, the double taunts back and forth, that also burn my bridge. So those are a couple of
you were
things.
saying Tuskens versus like what? Dash Scoundrels with
It's-
IG?
Right. It's the combo of the IG and the L3 because they start to keep moving each other back and forth, and then IG cleansing all your hard work. Yeah, I timed out, and I timed out pretty badly on it. So those are like the ones that stand out.
I just to piggyback real quick on that, I did try Tuskens a couple times versus CLS, and I have to say the banners were rough and the experience was rough, but I won both matches. And just the real skinny on that was, like, the first time I had Tusken Chieftain immediately lit up by Han. Still won the fight with the 4 of them. Lost like 2 of the others. Ended up beating all 5, having 2 standing at the end. And one of them was Warrior that time. The second battle, I brought in Xeris, right? So the first battle was full Tusken. Second battle, I brought in Xeris and dropped Shaman. Xeris was immediately blown up, like right off the rip. They just exploded her. And then they targeted down Warrior. So by the time Warrior died, only Chewbacca was dead. We did kill Chewbacca before Warrior died. So I was like, okay, whatever. I have to clean up the 3 of these guys. It'll live. It was CLS. It was CLS, Han, Chewie, and C-3PO. So the 4's still standing. And nonetheless, it got down to just 2 of them standing, with Warrior already gone, and they still won the fight. It was Tusken Chieftain and Raider literally beat the others to death. It was incredible. So it was like 52 banners, like complete ass in the end for banners. But I thought it was going to be a drop. So, just over the moon with that. So it was, I'm sure if I had there's no armor on the Tusken Kron or something. There's not a lot to mitigate CLS exploding you, but that was exciting.
Well, I can give you one where it doesn't work. When they kill your warrior, It doesn't work. I've heard that from reliable sources, being myself.
If they light
And
him up first, yeah, I believe that.
no, they delete your warrior when you don't have your warrior with the warrior cron and all the goodness.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but they're not that great when you don't have all the goodness.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Kron definitely was integral to our success.
I'm just saying, warrior. You don't have warrior. It's kind of hard when you don't have a warrior to do the work.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Like I said, though, Warrior only survived in this last fight I did long enough to kill Chewbacca. And then he died, and then we killed everyone else anyway. It was crazy. And that's with Xeris dying on the opening hit. So it's like, just those, man, it was so impressive. Anyway, what didn't work, Dagger? Let's hear about it. You there? We got you, Dagger? Hello?
Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry.
No worries.
I muted myself.
No worries.
Was otherwise anyways. What didn't work? Watching your gax on Discord didn't work. Just kidding.
Damn. Brutal.
Honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but I didn't really have anything that didn't work that I was like, oh, I can't believe that didn't work, right? There were some things where I was just like, man, this isn't going to work, but I need to take out like 2 guys.
Yeah.
Or, right? Like, but I can't like say that anything stands out to like, oh, darn, I can't believe that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 'Cause it's like, I took bounty hunters in to kill everybody but Lord Vader, the Mon Mothma Lord Vader, and it was like, is that like an oh damn, bounty hunters didn't work?
Mm-hmm.
No, the intention was to 2-shot it with like the upside of maybe fingers crossed I 1-shot it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that was basically my week, right? Like nothing stood out that didn't work. Yeah, I mean, I'll just leave it at that.
Well,
Like,
I mean, that's fair.
Nothing that I like.
You know, and good for
Yeah,
you, and screw you,
everything-
you know?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying we talked about this on last week's show where I don't have good answers to some stuff so it's like set a heavier defense and then just voluntarily 2-shot things.
Mm-hmm.
That was my week.
Fair. All right, guys. Takeaways for week 3. So it's the storm's been building for me. Tarful enters service next week. Not sure he'll be, there every round, but he will be featured, and I'm not going to go into too much further detail, but I think you all know. I mean, the comp's going to be good. It's going to be nasty. I'm really looking forward to it. What else am I looking forward to? I've done several really great remods for next week for some of the, my favorite defensive teams. Don't really want to go too much into detail about that, but just tuning up mostly offense marks on things. Making sure that you can slap hard when you do get turns. That really matters. Gosh, what else?
I was there. He really took his wicket up to like 12K offense.
Oh God, that's almost too horrible to think of. But let me think. Yeah, I was talking to TJ about this earlier, and I did pick your brain separately about the puzzle of Rose Tico. I've seen, for those that have the Omicron, it's definitely doing God's work on the Finzori team. Now, with the Kron outgoing here in a matter of days, I guess we, those of us who don't have it placed, have an incentive to wait and see how it playtests, I guess, a bit more. But otherwise, I have seen this be a really high-impact character in the Finzori team. Dagger, I know you already said, at this point in the season, it's probably better, to wait and see how it looks come next 5, so fair enough.
That's correct.
Yeah, and then TJ, did you have any other thoughts on the Rose Tico Omicron? Because I know you work with Heinze a lot. He's got it. I think you have it yourself, don't you?
I do now. And I'm okay with it. To me, it's an investment in the Zori team. I think once it came out, and your question to me was the modding, I figured it out. I've gone through and looked and scoped some of the greats, people at the top, and based on what I could do with my stuff. So I've got the numbers and the specs that I need. Did I think it'll be impactful?
Now, are we talking trade secret here, or can you share with the people about the rose modding?
It's going a couple different ways. On some people, certain ones, they're leaning into when she does her hit, and leaning into that aspect. Others are leaning into keeping her alive longer, right? So they're looking into the sustainability. But all the same that I've seen remains about the same in the speed check. The one I'll give is about 290 to 310 is a really good one. 310 obviously being optimal. But that's where I'm seeing her at. And apparently it's working out well because I've looked at the histories and those seem to be consistent.
Dig it. All right. Well, yeah, those are my takeaways, and thank you for indulging my questions. All right, back to you, Dagger. What are you taking away here to week 3? Anything you've been watching and seeing, or I know you watch a lot of other people's streams. You're always browsing the latest content. So anything you're excited about here for week 3 that you're at liberty to divulge, of course.
Well, as TJ said earlier, fuck the Sorticron. This is PG-13. I get my one cuss word.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
I'm glad. No, I'm just saying. I am. A takeaway is that one's going to be gone, and I'm going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like actual takeaways go, I still haven't solved the conundrum that is Lord Vader or Afra on defense. So I figured out what to do with my Afra, and I figured out how to beat Reva. So I solved like half of my issues this week that I was trying to noodle my way through, if that makes sense.
Are you encountering Afra teams that CLS would struggle with?
The problem isn't that CLS would struggle with them; it's that CLS is getting, forked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Like they'll put gas up top, Afra there, and then in the back they're gonna have like Maul or something like that, right? Like,
got you. Okay.
So it's mostly trying. That's why I said like the Night Sisters versus the Maul thing, right? It's important to find additional counters. That's what I was saying. Like, First Order Omi has been promising versus Afra. I don't know what the limits on it are. Might test those a little bit.
Yeah, I remember we were doing that back with the Phasmacron. We were able to do that because you were just able to generate enough turn meter to easily keep being able to dispel L3 or whatever and keep after you who you needed to keep after. So I remember that.
It's I still have some things I need to work through. Because now that Afra doesn't have her Supercron, you're not just overkill GLing it, right? Now you're trying to find like a nuanced answer.
Mm-hmm.
I might try Trench versus it next week.
Okay.
Because theoretically, if they're not setting the dark side droids, they summon, there's no droid, then Dooku gets to go, and then your whole team gets to go. And then hopefully you can kind of control everything with the shock on basic and everything, right? Like,
I feel like if you're able to get a couple turns before Afra gets the second and puts out the the cooldown pushback and all that, I think you've got something. I wish you all the best with it. What were you saying? It was like again, it was Afra, and what was the other team that you were saying? That was like your
Lord Vader.
Lord Vader. So you've been getting forked on Slacker, and Bounty Hunters has been rough going? Because that was my experience with Bounty Hunters as well.
Well, we talked about this. I've been studying a slightly heavier defense with voluntarily one-shotting things. I solved the Jabba and Reva problem, which means I can now voluntarily one-shot Lord Vader, or voluntarily two-shot Lord Vader, and now I just have to figure out the last conundrum that is Afra, and if I can find a good answer to Lord Vader, maybe I do that. Now, I won't go into some of my thoughts on it. TJ and I have talked, not privately, but in voice chats with some of our other people about some of the ways one might take down a Lord Vader that do not include Slacker, Afra, or Bounty Hunters. So I have some ideas of what I'd like to try. But nothing I'd like to get into on this video. I mean, like I said, it's
you're entitled to keep your secret sauce, man. That's fair. That's fair.
I give people. I feel like I give away a lot of what I struggle with and a lot of what I like to test. So I'm trying to give. I need to hold something back, And I will definitely report back on it at the end of the week, make a note of it, and if I don't remember, remind me, and I will let you know because it'll be in my history.
We will endeavor to try. Very good, very good.
Yeah.
TJ, what are you looking forward to in week 3?
A bigger, bolder TJ. And Dagger will say it all day that I am always happy to kill myself. But
So this means that you're actually going to be setting a little lighter than usual. Then you're actually going to forge yourself some options.
Nope, I'm going to go a little bit heavier. I felt like consistently. So the one thing that's been consistent when I've been testing and what I've been doing is I have way too much left over. Having too much is also part of my problem. It's allowing me to make stupid mistakes because I have so many things that they're not being put in the right places. And I continue to say the one thing I take away from my fight is, man, I could have put more. And I've been watching everybody play. I watched you, I watched some of the other content creators and some of our other people who stream and do things like that. There's so much more there that people aren't exploring that are done. I'm not going to give a threshold of it, but I will say I personally did it. I got to use Tuscans on Afra. So Dagger, take that one.
Ooh.
I'm not going to give any more about it. I'm not going to say where it is. I know where you can and can't go with it, but I was able to do it, sit down and work it, and it was fun.
Ooh,
but
that's
where that stops, I will not give on the video.
Okay.
Quick question: does it work with a Gear 11 Chieftain and no data crop?
It actually, I honestly, it might. I don't.
There we go.
You're just basically saying it's foolproof then.
So Datacron is needed. I have to preface that.
I can't do it.
But your levels and all that. Yeah. It ultimately falls down.
You can't equip it.
Yeah, right.
You can't equip a Datacron.
Right. But you have to have you have to have the Warrior Datacron. That's what I will say. But where that stops,
I do have the Warrior Datacron.
Where it stops is the amazing thing, and that's where I'm going to leave that. But I will give you that the Tuscans can work on Afra. Other things I have a lot of fun things I want to try this week, and I think because it's going into week 3, I want to get bold, and I want to get dirty, and I want to try more.
Well, is there anything else that you've been seeing opponents set? Is there anything else that that you feel at liberty to discuss? Because I don't want to dig into the deep of your plans, but yeah, just thinking about anything else that's exciting you to try that maybe you saw used against you. So if somebody were to look up your history, it's nothing lost. We're not stealing out of your
right. It's nothing that nobody doesn't know if you're taking the time to look. Yeah, that's the one thing when we're in the top, everybody pretty much puts out the same sauce, right? And it's what you do a maneuver. People put these old comps and those work great to kind of mess with things, right? Like I'll talk about it where I'm not going to say where the threshold is, but putting Maul with Seer messes with the sauce. It changes the fight. Yeah. It does a huge dynamic change, right? There's things there. Tarful can mess with things. It's like a Sauna team if you have the right pieces. There's all these things you can do, but off meta is the meta. Dagger called it out so well, and it's just gotten that much bigger as I've been watching it out, and that's the best part.
Well, and this was a logical consequence of what we were saying last fives, where we've been making super teams now because we have too many teams, which means as even that becomes stale, you just have to do anything and everything to shake it up on your opponent. So that makes sense. Okay, so enough on that, I suppose. We're at the final thoughts stage, gentlemen. For me, I had an easy week 2. So I went 1-2 in week 1. I went 3-0 against two accounts that were much, much smaller. And then one account that I had not as much of a size advantage on, but definitely a sizable mod advantage. So I was really well favored for the week. I guess my final thought is I have that sense at the end of week 2 about how to really proportion the board in this month, given what our Datacron makeup actually is. And yeah, I get that my final thought is I'm ready. I'm ready. I've got some really interesting tuning I've been doing all through weeks 1 and 2. Week 3 is just going to be wild with what I know I'm going to be able to pull off. Dagger? Final thought?
Yeah. I like the puzzle that is 5v5. Kind of looking forward a bit. Curious to what the next set's gonna bring, because this current 5v5, not this last, right? This current 5v5, we're 2/3 of the way through, has been let's just say, like, I know I mentioned this on a previous one. You can basically just set all your GLs, your opponent can set all their GLs. You can both still full clear each other. Like, we're in a world where if you don't full clear, it's because you jammed yourself up really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my final thoughts going away from this are basically like balancing somewhere between like TJ and, our buddy Kim, right? Find a good balance to where you can full clear, but still present enough problems to force or coax a drop or a fork, for bad banners, right? Because I feel like if you're playing against a solid opponent, it's hard to drop fights right now. Because like TJ said, he's been setting like 3/4 of the house and then still having too much left over.
Yeah.
So I think I know you had this week. I don't think you've been full cleared this whole week, right? But
No, I don't think so.
I will say that I feel like we are coming to an end of, I don't know. It feels weird. My final, man. Sorry for the rambling.
Yeah,
but it just feels weird.
I know you're collecting it. I know you're getting where you're trying to go.
Yeah, it feels weird to be getting to the end of what I perceive to be the off meta. I feel like next set is not going to allow us to do what we've been able to do this month.
You're absolutely right. I mean, but that's the two-edge thing. You're wanting things like Sortie to go, and yeah, we're all going to be in a scary, brave new world with the set we know gone and a new set.
Yeah, so I'm basically just looking forward to the future while still appreciating what we have.
All right, that's fair. All right, not a terrible point of view. All right, final thought, TJ.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
That's
Shit's
right.
getting real.
It is the realio. Week 3 is the ultimate sweat. It's layers of deception. Week 1 is like your carryover from week 3 of the last season, maybe with a little twist, a little zest on top. That's about it, though. Week 2 can be a heavy swap up, but then it's about lessons learned from weeks 1 and 2, and week 3 is just the brute. I mean, it's I'm really looking forward to it. And I know that I won this last round, so that puts me somewhere in the 30s, I want to say. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Strong position to be in for this last week. All right, Dagger, TJ, thank you both so much for your time. Appreciate you getting in here, fairly late on a Monday. We all have families. As always, really appreciate the time. For my, I'm sorry, anything else for you guys, just aside from, thank you.
No, but I think that we should all. I think I should let everyone know that Tashnix was saying how much he's really looking forward to the next conquest, and that how he really hopes that the Leviathan comes like right after the next conquest.
I'm ready for Leviathan, though. I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, you know what? I got to show this to the people. I'm real happy about this. I have to show this to you. Dig this, guys. Relic 9 Sith Trooper for my Dorito ship. Over 100k health. Got the prot. Got the about 250 speed. Crit damage triangle 13k damage. 13.2k damage. So we're beasting, man. All right. Well, anyways, thank you both so much for your time. And yeah, for patrons, you guys will be seeing this here tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for your support. Look forward to all of your comments, questions, what have you. And for everybody else, this will come available on Friday morning. And, I always appreciate everybody's viewership. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in. And until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. Take care.